Good evening and welcome to this Friday's edition of Primetime News. I'm Punshani Adrisingha.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Well, ending weeks of debates, plans by the Australian government to reopen asylum seeker detention centres on the Pacific Island nations of Nauru and Papua New Guinea passed their final hurdle yesterday.
We have a comprehensive report on the Australian Senate decision as well as the accelerated efforts taken by the Sri Lankan authorities to arrest illegal immigrants. But before that, let's take a look at tonight's headlines.
Making headlines tonight, the chairman of the Sri Lanka Securities and Exchange Commission tenders his resignation. Doctors strike to continue until tomorrow morning. A team of Chinese experts arrives in the island to repair the Lakvijaya thermal power plant.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that his objective is to ensure that everyone reaps the benefits of development irrespective of religious, class or ethnic differences. The president made this observation while attending the progress evaluation meeting held at the Vaunia District Secretariat today.
The progress evaluation meeting for all the development programs that were carried out in the Vaunia and Mana districts by the government was held today under the patronage of the President.
Regarding resettlement,
everyone should reap the benefits of development equally. There cannot be any differences. I came here to talk about development work in your area. All of you need to help us in this endeavour. Only then will the Utturu Vasanta program be successful. Thereafter the people will be able to lead happy lives. The service rendered to the people is similar to serving God. Do not forget that.
Ending weeks of debate, plans by the Australian government to reopen asylum seeker detention centres on the Pacific Island nations of Nauru and Papua New Guinea passed their final hurdle yesterday.
The Migration Legislation Amendment Bill 2012 was passed without amendment by the Australian Senate after an extended evening debate and will now go to royal assent. The legislative changes agreed by the House of Representatives are designed to deter asylum seekers from trying to reach Australia. Speaking before the Senate debate, Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard said the time had come for a new approach to the asylum seeker issue. As the bill was being debated in the Senate, a government delegation boarded a plane at Canberra Airport. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation reported that the group will identify sites in Papua New Guinea and Nauru for 10 cities. Former Conservative Prime Minister John Howard set up detention centres on Papua New Guinea's Manus Island and in Nauru under his Pacific Solution, which aimed to deter people smugglers and remove automatic access to Australia for those who are granted refugee status. Manus Islands was closed in 2004 while former Labour Prime Minister Kevin Rudd shut down the Nauru detention centre shortly after he won power in late 2007. Since 2001, almost 1,000 people have died at sea while attempting to reach Australia on overcrowded and often unseaworthy refugee boats from Indonesia. The UN Refugee Agency said Australia received 11,800 asylum claims in 2011.
Meanwhile, here in Sri Lanka, officials accelerated their efforts to arrest individuals who attempted to illegally migrate to Australia by sea. Now, a number of individuals were arrested during the last 48 hours as a result of these efforts.
30 individuals who attempted to illegally migrate to Australia were rescued and subsequently arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy 300 nautical miles of Tengal. According to the Sri Lanka Navy, the rescue operation was launched following a distress call received by the Navy from those on board the vessel. Navy media spokesperson Commander Kosalawala Kulasurya noted that following initial investigations, steps will be taken to hand over the arrested individuals to the Criminal Investigations Department. Meanwhile, 42 Sri Lankan refugees who attempted to set sail to Australia from Tamil Nadu, India, have been arrested by the Tamil Nadu police. According to South Asian-based Sun TV, the arrested are said to be refugees who are housed at the Eroda and Thiruchu refugee camps in Tamil Nadu. Sun TV reports that among the arrested were 5 women and 11 children.
8 Sri Lankan refugees at the Punmalay refugee camp in Tamil Nadu have commenced a hunger strike. Indian media reports say that the hunger strike, which commenced on Wednesday, has been launched over the transfer of a Sri Lankan national to the Punamale refugee camp in Tamil Nadu on the 4th of this month. It is reported that the transfer was made as the individual in question, who was residing at the Single Pattu camp, was preparing to launch a hunger strike calling for the closure of all refugee camps in Tamil Nadu. Reports say the refugee had commenced the hunger strike against his transfer and was later joined by 7 others. They charge that they are being held at refugee camps without cause.
Here at home, the demonstrations that were staged by farmers demanding water for their crops took a new turn yesterday. A few days ago, farmers who engaged in their strike action with one voice are now split over the water issue. Now, this goes on to show that a long-term solution is a necessity, and the responsibility in this regard lies solely with the authorities. A spokesperson attached to the Mahaweli authority said that the decrease in water levels at the Udawalawa reservoir owing to the dry weather conditions over catchment areas has severely inconvenienced the farmers in the Walawa special zone.
The Udawalawa reservoir, which has a total capacity of 217,000 acre-feet, has decreased to 535 acre-feet at present. Around 12,000 hectares of paddy fields in Savanagala, Kiribittara, Surivava and Mairapura areas are being nourished by the water distributed from the Udawalawa reservoir. Farmers in the Surivava area engaged in demonstrations during the past few days demanding water for their farmlands. Farmers pointed out that a group of farmers had blocked the waterway, severely inconveniencing another group whose sole livelihood is farming. A tense situation arose when the Mahaweli authority and the police took measures to remove this blockade in question. According to the police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana, the police special task force had been deployed to defuse the situation in Savanagala.
Over the past 2 weeks, even though the assistance of the STF was sought to bring down these fences, massive public support has been obtained in putting them up again. This is very unjust because we direct the water to Kiribittava and then supply water to Suryawava and Mairapura. They are illegally obtaining water. This water is being taken for sugarcane, banana and paddy cultivation. What we are saying is no matter where they take the water, please ensure that we get enough water for our paddy fields.
3 police officers and a member of the Tanamalvila Pradesha Sabha were injured during the tense situation that arose in Tanamalvila last evening. This was confirmed to News First by police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana. Around 1,000 farmers objected to the removal of the blockade. Security officials informed us that they have received instructions from the top to remove this blockade and requested the crowd to disperse. The STF surrounded the area forcibly and launched an attack on us. The Sri Lanka Mahaweli authority meanwhile stated that steps were taken to remove the illegal blockade that was put up by a group of farmers in the Savanagala Kovilar area. Water was later distributed to farmlands in Kiribittara and Nelumava areas. Furthermore, steps were also taken to construct another canal from the Mavuar reservoir in order to supply water to Kiribittara area owing to the dry weather conditions. According to the Udawalawa resident project manager Asanka Gunatilaka, farmers in the Kiribittara area who are in dire need of water are attempting to retain water using extreme measures.
Water can be taken to Suryawava and Mairapura only if water comes into Kiribittava. 40% is paddy and another 40% is supplementary crops. Banana cultivation is the worst affected because water is a necessity. Even other supplementary crops have been affected, especially in the Haburugala, Suryawava and Mairapura areas. The paddy is drying up and so are the bananas because there is no water. They put up a wall in Udawalawa saying there is no water. We went to the Mahaweli authority and they too are saying that there is no water. This is the problem.
Meanwhile, Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Apabewardana was quick to react to the situation that had arisen. The monsoon showers have commenced and this problem will be solved in the near future. The issue will not be solved by organizing demonstrations. Rain is the only solution for this. Several instances were reported in the recent past where farmers staged demonstrations demanding water to cultivate their paddy fields. Incidentally, some demonstrations came to an end with the intervention of the police. It is no secret that farmers need water to sustain their farmlands. Farmers reiterate that demonstrations are being organized as water is an integral part to sustain their livelihood.
The Government Medical Officers Association has decided to call off their token strike at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Day-to-day activities at several state hospitals across the island was hampered as a result of the token strike.
The Colombo National Hospital, which is bustling with activity, was somewhat deserted owing to the token strike staged by doctors. Patients who arrived to receive treatment from the cardiac unit at the hospital had to return back home.
I'm a heart patient. I've been taking treatment for the past 8 years. They're taking revenge from the innocent patients.
We were not treated last evening and this morning. This is unfair.
The Government Medical Officers Association commenced a token strike yesterday in protest over an incident where a hand grenade was hurled at a house belonging to a doctor attached to the council. At a media briefing held today, the GMOA noted that there is a link between the establishment of private medical colleges and the bomb that was hurled yesterday. Meanwhile, according to a communique issued by the police headquarters, the investigations in this regard has been handed over to the CID. A medical college cannot be established without a hospital. There has been discussions to ascertain the standard of the hospital. Dr. Lalantarana Singha attended these discussions and he said that there was no hospital. This was an act of revenge. The standards of the medical sector has been degraded by such conducts. There is a big question mark relating to the rule of law in the country. Despite several complaints being lodged in this regard, no action has been taken to address these issues. We will not have to discuss about such an incident today if the law was meted out properly. Meanwhile, the Medical Faculty Students Action Committee engaged in a demonstration opposite the Colombo National Hospital against the incident. The advanced level examinations are coming to a close. Problems are likely to crop up over the marking of answer scripts. University lecturers will not participate in paper marking. Paper marking will be a failure without the assistance of university lecturers. Will problems arise with the results of the 2012 advanced level examination as well?
And up next is a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.